brothers and sisters, to Mormon Movie Reviews, where LDS movie lovers belong. My name is Steve Hayes. Today is November 11, 2022. This is episode 54, and we will be reviewing Freetown, released in 2015, with a running time of 113 minutes. This review works best if you've seen this film before, though that is not required. And here's your spoiler alert. Your synopsis. Philip Abu Bakr, played by Henry Adolfo, is a local Mormon church leader in Liberia, and 6 African missionaries along with him from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They're stuck in Monrovia during the First Liberian Civil War. Here they are, Elders Menti, Myers, Gay, Nyanforth, Selly, and Forkpop. They're prevented from conducting any missionary work due to the violence in the area. So they create a plan to escape to the northern Sierra Leone border so they can continue preaching without the fear of being killed. Now, Elder Gay on the right there, he is a Kron tribe member, which is being targeted for execution by rebels from the International Patriotic Front of Liberia. The local rebellion leader, Ansa, played by Bill Myers here, he kills both male and female Kron tribe members on sight, blaming them for the war started by President Samuel Doe, a Kron, as well as for the killing of his father, mother, and 2 younger brothers. Luckily for the missionaries, one of the other rebels, Mamulu, is a member of the local church branch, and in a very tense scene, he's able to convince Ansa to spare the missionaries' lives, especially Elder Gay's life.
Ansa! 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 These men. These are good men. I know them.
You know them?
They are from my church. Let me take them. I'll put them to work digging.
This one is a car.
Luckily, they survive, and they are taken away, but then they're released to join Abu Bakr and the other 4 missionaries on an escape trip to the border. So the 7 Latter-day Saints crowd into an old 5 red sedan here, driven by Abu Bakr, with the biblical passage Mark 9:12 written on the back, which reads, "And straightway the father of the child cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe, help thou mine unbelief." Now, at each checkpoint, they have to sacrifice some of their belongings to be able to pass through. Ansa, he's furious over the missionaries, and he eventually tracks them to the border and tries to make sure that Elder Gay does not leave the country to Freetown, Sierra Leone. Mamulu tells them to do whatever Ansa asks. Then he mysteriously leaves. And just as Ansa is about to execute Elder Gay for being a Kron, Mamulu returns with armed soldiers who demand that the missionaries get released. The leader of the soldiers declares that he himself is a Kron. And when asked whose side he's on, Mamulu abandons Ansa and sides with the missionaries.
And you? Why you want to deny them passage?
There is no place for any crown in this country.
Get them on the next ferry, wherever they need to go. Now.
It's a very close call, but the missionaries and their driver, they eventually safely cross over the border by boarding a ferry and making it to safety. They're reunited in Freetown with President Cunningham, their mission president, and his wife.
Elder.
Please, come in. Come in. There's plenty of room.
Their work?
Lots of work.
Good.
Hello, President.
What are you doing?
I thought I should remove the battery to keep it safe.
Everything is safe. Brother Abubakar, you've done everything I asked. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Now, end card reveals that the missionaries continued living in Sierra Leone for the next 7 years until the war ended. By the way, if you want to get in touch with me, I'm at mormonmoviereviews@gmail.com. Now, this film was brought to us by Garrett Batty, who's a BYU and Mormon-centered filmmaker. He brought us the Saratov approach, which I've reviewed before, and also Out of Liberty, which I'm going to be reviewing very, very soon. He directed this movie, and he's a famous Mormon filmmaker. Freetown, it was on a very limited release, only maybe 35, 40 theaters, and it grossed about $400,000. The critics are pretty split on this movie, 50% tomato meter and 71% audience score. It's a drama rated PG-13. This is my personal thoughts, the best review I can give to you. A dawdling, flat account of African missionaries on the run from rebels that takes forever to get going and even longer to arrive. I thought that there was no chance to watch a missionary-based movie in which I cared less about the protagonist than the Saratov approach, but I found it with this movie. I almost didn't make it all the way through. It took several tries to finally complete it. I mean, it was an almost 2-hour running time, but it could have been 25 minutes and not lost anything at all. I don't use this term lightly and have never done so before, but I really hated Freetown. I honestly don't know the reason why. I don't know if it was that this movie wasn't made for me, but I literally found it to be unwatchable, except for the 2 scenes that I showed to you. Perhaps it was the fact that the missionaries all seemed interchangeable, or 50% of the movie was spent cramped in a car. I don't know. The highlight of the movie for me was when the end credits rolled. Thanks so much for joining me to review this film. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Join us for another episode of the Mormon Movie Reviews, where LDS movie lovers belong, in which we will be reviewing Up in Smoke. So long.